The following program is brought to you in association with Pat and Nora Gibbons, Mayo and Chicago. Welcome to part two of our visit to Chicago and the annual Mayo Christmas party, which was held in Gaelic Park. We have more requests and dedications from our diaspora for people back home in Mayo. Well, I'm joined by sisters here, Caroline and Regina. I'll go to you first, Caroline. You went to school in Ballyhonus and you decided to emigrate. Why?
That's right. So originally I went to school in Bacon, actually in Bacon National School, and then I went to secondary school in Ballyhonus. So the reason I decided to immigrate was that my father actually immigrated before I did to New Jersey. So after I finished secondary school, I decided to join him in New Jersey. And that was a few years ago.
Yeah. Actually, your parents met in Chicago, is that right?
They met in Chicago in the 60s at the dances years ago. My father's from Kilmena and my mother is from Bacon. She's one of 14 Murphys. So they met in the 60s. My oldest brother was born here, and then my father decided to be a blow-in in Bacon and moved over to Bacon, and he bought 40 acres of forest and knocked the whole lot down and built our family home in Bacon.
Mm-hmm. And how long have you been in America now?
So I was in New Jersey for 10 years, and then I came to Chicago because I have a lot of cousins here and aunts and uncles in 99. So I've been here since 99 at this point.
Okay, and still enjoying it?
I absolutely love it in Chicago, absolutely.
Regina, you're also, when did you come to Chicago?
I came in 2006.
Okay, and what brought you here?
Caroline.
You were the baby sister who had to come out.
Yes, I knew she'd take care of me, and it's really just a great place to be, lots of family. So I couldn't say anything else about it, you know.
And I know you go back home quite regularly.
I do, yeah, every time I can. Probably once a year or so.
Okay. And what do you do here in the city?
I'm a vice principal in an elementary school, so it'll be primary school.
Yeah, much different than the Irish system, of course.
I'm sure it's got some similarities, but some differences too.
Yeah. Now, have you people you like to say hello to back home?
I mean, there's a ton of people back home that I miss and think of all the time, but a few people I'd like to mention is Moira Delaney and Vinnie Kelly. They were my teachers in Bacon, and they did inspire me to play music, and still playing to this day, so I'd like to recognise them. And as I said, tons of friends and family back there, and I wouldn't want to leave anyone out, so I might have to just stop it at that.
And of course you were very kind to us when we were recording a Rambling House last night in Northside there, and you had a great Cayley band, the Dirty Wellies.
That's right.
And great musicians.
Well, we do it for fun, you know. As I said, it started in Bacon, and we're still doing it.
Great,
yep.
Yeah. And of course there's a great connection with Balmullet with you now as well, isn't there?
Yes, there's a strong connection to Balmullet now.
Yeah, but you better tell our viewers more about that. Yeah.
So I never thought I'd have to come to Chicago to meet a Balmullet man, but you never know.
Yeah, there's a young man called Henry Coyle who's a bit of a legend here in Chicago as well.
Yes, he is a legend in many ways. And yes, I met him about a year and a half ago or something like that.
And as they say, still going strong.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, Regina, would you like to say hello to anybody back home?
Well, it's pretty much the same as Regina, actually, because we had the same teachers in Bacon, Mr. Kelly and Mrs. Delaney. Definitely want to give a shout out to Mary Gertie in Newport, and Margaret and Kathleen and Mary Teresa and John, and also to Kevin Island, who puts us up every time we're home, and Barney Carl. And of course all the neighbours. Most of our family are in New York at this point. I have 5 siblings there, and mum and dad, so you know, But my father did build all the shops in Knock, so that's why I want to say hello to everybody. I don't want to leave anybody out.
Okay. And this is a great event finally here in Gaelic Park as well.
Yes.
Always great every year for the Mayo people.
Yes, yeah, no, I've been to all the Gaelic parks in the United States, and I will say that this tops them all, so sorry to anyone from any of the other districts, but Chicago is an amazing facility.
Okay. So can we expect a big day out? Either will it be in Chicago or will it be back in Balmullet?
That is the burning question.
We'll leave it at that. Listen, Happy New Year, girls, and thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you, Henry. And safe travels back home.
Thank you. Well, a well-known man, of course, in music circles, not just here in Chicago, but indeed back home in Mayo, the great John Staunton. And it's great to see that you're still playing a bit of music, John.
Well, thank you, Henry. I like to keep my hand in. Yeah, we've had a busy weekend here with all you guys, with you and Michael, and great time here this weekend. We've been playing all day yesterday, and we're playing right now in a few minutes. So, yeah.
And how's the music singing in general, John?
Oh, here, there's absolutely loads of it, any amount of it, yeah. I do some of the, sit in with the Irish sets here now and then, but mostly I play with a country band out of Indiana. And we do all traditional country right up to the mid-90s, We can just stop there because we're not into that new pop country. But, yeah, we do all that kind of stuff. And, of course, we always enjoy going back to do a gig. We done one 2 Christmases ago in the Westport Woods, of course, with our friends there, Joanne and Michael Lennon. And hopefully going to go back in January again. So depending on, I suppose, lockdown and how things are. We'd like to get at least one night in Westport anyway.
In the meantime, for the Christmas New Year, anybody you'd like to say hello to back home?
Well, I'd like to say hello to my mother, who I know will be listening to this, and my sisters in Killinacalf, just outside of Westport, and all their families and kids, and I'd like to say hello to the McGills in Kilmena and the Kerrigans and the Devines in Island 80, and my buddy back there, Dominic McGrail, and Monica in Napa, and everyone, because there's a lot of people to say hello to, so I'm not leaving anybody out. I'm going to give a blanket hello to everybody back there, and Jerry and Nancy McNally and all the people that have been coming to the gigs over the years, and with the help of God, next year will be a better year for music, and we'll get back there and we will entertain again, with the help of God.
The great Mickey Garvey, of course, a lot of relations. Who are you with here anyway?
I'm with my son Michael, and I'm with my grandson Kevin.
Right.
Gallagher and Michael Garvey.
And who do you want to say hello to back?
I want to say hello to Michael Feeney and his wife, Mrs. O'Brien in Island 80, Jerry Toaster, Blackie Gavin and his mother Dot, Mary Quinn down at the Barrack Bridge. Hope, Mary, you're feeling good. And I hope I haven't forgot anybody, but we're all well here in Chicago. And Blackie, we tried to get a hold of you today, but you must have been busy somewhere. So anyhow, we'll keep in touch anyhow. So anyhow, we
looking forward to going back.
Looking forward to going back in May with God's help. Looking forward as usual. There's 4 pubs that we go to, my son and I. Paddy Morden's, Cody's, McBurn's, and Jerry Toasters. And I want to say hello to all those people, everybody. I hope I haven't missed anybody, but I hope everybody in Castlebar are well. And I'll be glad when this COVID is over, because my son and I and my grandson were dying to have a pint, a good pint, and that is the story. Lovely. So I'm saying hello to everybody. Hope I didn't miss anybody, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Catherine, you led a delegation here from Mayo County Council to Chicago for a couple of engagements.
That's right, Henry. We have been planning on visiting Chicago for some time because of the strength of the Mayo community here. So on Thursday, myself, Martina Hughes, who's our head of communications, our Coherent Michael Smith, Michael Loftus from Crossmalina, Mark Duffy from Ballina, and the inimitable Jerry Coyle from Belmullet travelled out to meet with the Mayo diaspora here, who have a fantastic, vibrant community. We arrived on Thursday. On Friday, we travelled to their the event at the Irish Fellowship Club, which was amazing to see how the Irish people and the Mayo people in particular have managed to become part of every echelon of Chicago society. They are in the legal profession, business, very, very strong in the unions and in community activists looking after each other. So that was an amazing event. We then hosted a small event ourselves, and we were thrilled with the people who turned up. It was so nice to think that people took time out of their very busy lives to come and connect with us. It was a real pleasure and a privilege to do that.
And that was all to promote, of course, the initiative Home to Mayo as well, isn't it?
Yes, as well as, I suppose, having a strong agenda to connect with our diaspora. 2022 is a very special year for us. We were chosen with Fáilte Ireland to be part of the Global Irish Festival Series, and we are looking at bringing and inviting everybody home to Mayo in 2022, particularly during the month of May, where with the communities across the entire county, Mayo County Council has partnered to develop a huge programme of events, music, culture, food, community events. And for anybody that chooses to come to Mayo, be they Mayo diaspora or otherwise, there will be a really special month-long celebration waiting for them. So we extend the invitation to everybody, Mayo connections or not, come to Mayo in 2022.
And you also then continued with a number of engagements there. You're up on the north side on Saturday and then Sunday in the south side in Gaelic Park.
That's true, and thank you, Henry. We appreciated the opportunity to come along with yourselves and meet the Mayo diaspora that came to your rambling house. And again, that was a fantastic event. People have travelled from far and wide. They came and we connected and we smiled and we even danced and took part in your show. So I think that really brings out the best in the Mayo people, and it was a pleasure to be able to connect with them and again extend that invitation in person to come home to Mayo 2022.
And your trip finishes off today now here in Gaelic Park, which is an iconic place for the Mayo people and indeed the Irish diaspora as well. And it's a big turnout for this afternoon's event.
This probably was the focal point of our visit, an invitation from the Mayo Association to attend this event. And again, as you said, such an iconic location, built by the hundreds and thousands of immigrants that have passed through Chicago over the last 70 years. And it's wonderful to see multiple generations of the same family in a room celebrating all that is good and happy and positive and fun that Mayo people bring to any occasion. So it's been a privilege and a pleasure.
So obviously to finish up then a triumphant trip for your delegation here in the city of Chicago.
I think it has been unanimously the decision of this trip that it's been a huge success. We are sorry that we haven't been to Chicago before, but I can guarantee anybody watching this will not be our last visit.
The following programme is brought to you in association with Pat and Nora Gibbons, Mayo and Chicago.
First of all, I'd like to thank you all for coming here today. It's great to see so many families out again after having a 2-year break from, obviously, the COVID pandemic. But I'd also like to say a few thank yous and welcomes. First of all, I'd like to thank the Cathaoirleach of Mayo County Council and his delegation, Jerry Coyle from Gisala, Michael Loftus Ballina, Mark Duffy from Crossmalina, Catherine McConnell from Ballinrobe, and Martina Hughes from Castlebar. So we'd like to give you all a big welcome and thank you for coming and sharing this weekend with us. I think Michael is going to say a few words in a couple of minutes. I'd also like to thank Michael Cummins from Midwest Radio and Henry McGade and Shane Wallace from Mayo.ie for coming out and helping us, I suppose, get the buzz of Mayo back into the city again. And they came out yesterday, they recorded a Ramblin' House, and I know Michael took about 1 million requests for Midwest Radio. So we'll let you know as soon as they know the dates, and we will share all the links to those shows. Without one family, this would not be possible, and that is Pat and Nora Gibbons. So I'd like to thank Pat and Nora for their sponsorship. It's greatly appreciated and does not go unnoticed.
Now we have a great gang here from Kilchama.
I'm Kathy Mulvihill, and I'm here with my 3 aunts from Kilchama, Teresa Griffin, Margaret O'Hara, and Regina Cruz, and my cousin Nancy.
And anybody like to say hello to back home?
To all my cousins, the Shannon cousins in Kelchama.
I'm Cora Griffin, and I'd like to say hello to my sister-in-laws and all my nieces and nephews, and to wish them a Merry Christmas.
How about you?
All the Shannons in Kelchama and my cousins, the Highlands and Swinford, Glasser.
You have a couple of card players in Kilchuma.
I'm Margaret O'Hara. I'd like to say hello to all my sister-in-laws and my brother and all my card playing friends, Tommy Darkey and Hugh Ford and the rest of the gang.
Lovely.
Thank you.
And we've one more aunt here as well. When you come shine away from
What
the
am I
gang
supposed
here.
to say?
Oh, okay. How would you like to say hello to back home?
I'd like to say hello to my brother I just talked to this morning. He called me. And all my friends and sister-in-laws in Ireland and all my friends.
Lovely.
Thank you.
And can I just ask you one more thing? When are you planning to go back home again?
I just came back in October.
Okay.
I just come back on what?
You're going back
I'm
January?
going back January 3rd.
Lovely.
I was there 3 years ago for my brother's 50th wedding anniversary.
Lovely.
And I was back last year with my husband, who's from Limerick, visiting.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us, ladies, and a Happy New Year to you all.
Thank you. You too.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is Seamus Reid, my wife Sue.
Hello.
We're living in Chicago for 40 years now. We just want to wish everybody a Happy New Year and hope to see them next summer. Say hello to the Reeds, Kilroys, Sweeneys, in Newport, and everyone else.
Kilroy's,
Yeah.
everybody in Newport, we thank you and Happy New Year.
We'll see you next summer, hopefully.
This is on behalf of the Irish Republic out near Belmont. It's still part of Mayo, we're still conjoined, but I'm absolutely delighted to be here. I want to thank everybody for coming. I want to thank everybody for the nice time we've had here. I want to thank Henry for driving us around. I want to welcome my brother Henry here too, from over in Orland Park. To each and every one that has made us feel so welcome. The last night I was here, I didn't wear the tie today in case they thought I was going to do an auction. The last night I did an auction in this room. I was telling the people the other night, we had a David Beckham shirt that made $2,800, and the Mayo tie I had on me made $3,200. What an amazing, amazing amount of money. I never come to a function like this that I don't say thanks. Thanks not just for what you do for the people of Mayo, for the people of Ireland, but for your own here, who finds themselves in hard times and find themselves in difficult times. The way you support each other, it's an absolute credit. And that was brought from the small little homes up and down the west coast of Ireland, where back in the day, children were reared for export. They were sent off to the four corners of the world, and they never, ever, ever forgot where they came from. And we, as a people in Mayo, should never forget where you came from either. And I often think in villages, there should be monuments to the mothers who reared them children for export. They came here without education, but they had something more important with them. They had intelligence. And it was when the intelligence met the education, it was onwards and upwards for the Irish abroad. Sometimes at home we take for granted what you have achieved. That the most powerful nation in the world will block the streets of the biggest cities in the world for the Irish to march up on St. Patrick's Day.
Hello, my name is Michael Collins, my wife Paddy, originally from Tormacady. I've been 28 years here in Chicago, and I'd like to say hello to my mom, Mary Collins, my twin brother Kevin and his wife Teresa. I have a sister Martina, she's married to Kevin Dolan in Tormacady, and their two boys, James and Oliver, and anybody else around Tormac that knows me. Of course, my sister Kathy, who is living in Galway.
And pork.
And Pork at home on the farm with Mom.
Anybody else?
No, I think we covered just about everybody with all that.
Okay.
So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Happy to be. We are going home in August, so
Yes.
looking forward to supporting Home to Mayo.
Hello, I'm Lorraine Maguire, and we're here in Chicago, and we want to say hello to a couple of people back home. We're going to start with Isla, my niece, is going to say Merry Christmas too.
Connor and Auntie Sharon.
And my niece Abigail.
I'm gonna Merry Christmas, Nanny Rose, and Auntie Ashleen and Auntie Brina.
And Kellen is going to say Nanny and Granddad.
Merry Christmas to Nanny Brady and Granddad.
And all the boys in Borna Thraw, Paddy, Tommy, and Johnny the Tay.
And everybody in Belmullet.
We just want to say Merry Christmas from Chicago and have a wonderful New Year. God bless all.
And to Porrick and Marion in the lobster pot.
No, into Sean Maguire.
And we'll see you all in 2022.
Good luck, folks. Happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Well, the evening concluded with a presentation by the Cathaoirleach of Mayo County Council, Councillor Michael Smith, to Ruth Cawley, the President of the Mayo Association of Chicago, and to Pat Gibbons for both their outstanding work and support with the Mayo people in Chicago. Well, we're going to leave you now with some great memories of a wonderful event at Gaelic Park. So until the next time, slán go fóill.
The barman was calling, time gentlemen please. At a dark corner table, he seemed ill at ease. His face told the story, his eyes would betray. He said, friend, are you going my way? An old faded picture he kept in his coat. It came with a letter that his mother wrote. Taken at Easter 1963, he said everyone's there except me. Mayo will always be home, no matter wherever I roam. Although we're divided by land and by sea, Mayo will always be home to me. Born on the island, raised on the shore, he talked of the sun and the cloud on Slieve Moor. Barely a man when he left behind someone who still crosses his mind. He said they're all gone now, there's nobody home. His mother saw 90, she died all alone. Time wasn't in it to bid her goodbye. How it hurt to see this old man cry. Mayo will always be home, no matter wherever I roam. Although we're divided by land and by sea, Mayo will always be home to me. Landed in Mayo, this old man and me. We stopped by the old home one last time to see the house and the garden, the open half door. And he said as we stood on the shore, Mayo will always be home, no matter wherever I roam. Although we're divided by land and by sea, Mayo will always be home. Mayo will always be home, no matter wherever I roam. Although we're divided by land and by sea, Mayo will always be home to me.